power budget. So we have understood that the nearest neighbor power budget means between the two adjacent stations we are going to discuss. Okay. So what is the equation and all we have discussed? This is the equation, that is expression for loss between the station 1 and station 2 can be written as 10 log P naught divided by P1 comma 2. So that is equal to alpha L plus 2 L tap plus 4 L naught plus 2 Li. So this is the equation what we got. Okay. So next thing is what largest distance power budget. In the largest distance power budget, the largest distance power budget means what? There may be n number of stations. So among the n number of stations, we can have the largest distance power budget. The losses increases linearly with the number of stations n. So here the fractional losses are contributed by the following elements. So connector loss as well as coupler throughput loss. So for that also we have written the equation. So it is the extended version of the nearest neighbor power budget equation. Okay, nearest why? Because that is between two stations, but it is between n number of stations. That means for some modifications we need to do so that we can get the loss between the n number of stations. Okay, so that particular equation also we have seen in the last class. After that, we started with the performance, the star network performance. So in the star network performance, so we have taken the equation. Okay, so performance equation also we have taken. So then we we understood that what is the comparative performance of linear bus and star network also we have seen by this particular graph. So when the number of stations are getting increased, the loss in the star network is not getting raised. So it is maintaining it one particular peak value, one particular constant value. Okay, so now after this one, when we are talking about the linear bus, continuously it is going to be increased. Okay, so continuously it is being increased. Okay, so you can see that particular thing. The loss in the linear bus is around 200 dB per kilometer for around 45 or 50 number of stations, but it will be only the up to the maximum of 50 dB per kilometer when you're using the star network. Okay, that is what exactly the difference. Today we will discuss about the photonic switching. Okay, read the heading, photonic switching. So here the wide area network, that is WDM, the wide area WDM network, okay, wavelength division multiplexing network, requires a dynamic wavelength routing. Okay, dynamic wavelength routing that can reconfigure the network while maintaining its non-blocking nature. So the functionality is provided by an optical cross connect, OXC. O stands for optical, X stands for cross, and C stands for connection. Okay, optical cross connect we are going to understand. So when they're talking about optical cross connect, OXC, they directly operate in an optical domain and can route very high capacity WDM data streams over a network of interconnected optical path. Okay, so this is what exactly the thing here. So how this particular network will be looking like, we are going to discuss in this particular diagram. So all of you please take this particular diagram. This is a very important one, that is optical cross connect architecture. So please read the diagram, all of you. So in the diagram, you can able to see that demultiplexer, there is number of demultiplexers are there in the left hand side, and a number of multiplexers are also there in the right hand side. So between these two things, there is a space switches are present. So what is the functionality of this particular space switches is, they will take the signals, okay, the demultiplexed signal, okay. So once you see that the multiplexing is WDM, means what, wavelength division multiplexing. So when the wavelength division multiplexing is happened, so the signal what we get is the multiplexed signal. So once we get the multiplexed signal, okay, once we get the multiplexed signal, that particular multiplexed signal will be fed to the demultiplexer. So let us consider that lambda 1 to lambda n will be there. N number of signals in one demultiplexer. Similarly, n number of signals in another demultiplexer. So like that, there may be m number of input fibers will be there. So n into m, so many multiple, okay, thousands, hundred thousands of signals will be demultiplexed, and all those thousands of signals will be sent to the space switches. When all these signals are sent to the space switches, okay, so multiplexing will happen. Okay, so here what exactly the space switches taken? So they will take the signals and they will forward the signals to the multiplexers. Okay, so when they are forwarding the signals to the multiplexers, here there is a provision of adding a signal and dropping a signal. Okay, addition and dropping the signal. Clear. So when you're adding the signal, so in along with the thousands of signals, we will be adding another one or two signals, and if you want to drop any particular signal, that can be dropped through the drop port. So remaining signals can be modified, and whatever the process, however we want, so we can take that particular signal and we can feed it to multiplexer 1, multiplexer 2, multiplexer n. Okay, it is something like a fun game. Okay, so what is a fun game here means, thousands of signals are coming. We will have the thousands of signals. Now, by using the space switches, you can route the required signals to one multiplexer. Let us consider n number. Let us consider 10. Okay, one fiber means what, 110 we will consider. Okay, 10 into there are 10 demultiplexer. 10 is how much? 100. 100 signals, another one or two signals I will add here. Okay, so let us consider 101 or 102 signals are present here. Okay, so 1 or 2 you consider. So now we are in the output side, we can have the provision of taking only 100 only. Why? Because the multiplexing action will take only for required number. Okay, you cannot add necessarily. So we have a provision of dropping the unwanted signals. Okay, so that particular time what I can do is unwanted 2 signals can be dropped here, unwanted 2 signals can be added, and wherever exactly you want to add that particular thing we can add and we can send it to the multiplexer. Okay, so that is how it is working. Okay, so that is how it works, and we can have the optical cross connected architecture. Okay, here the only thing we need to understand is addition and dropping of particular signals are there. No, so this particular addition and dropping of this particular dropping of this particular wavelength will happen with symmetrical. That means what, how much signals we added, that many signals we need to drop. So we cannot add unnecessarily and we cannot drop. See, dropping can be done. Okay, so however the signals can be dropped. So it is something like we have a provision of 100 signals to be multiplexed. So if you are multiplexing only 98 and 99, no problem. But we cannot exceed the limit. That is what exactly the concept here. Okay, so please take this particular please take this particular diagram, all of you. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. So these diagrams are very, very important. Just practice here only, okay? So if you have any doubt regarding this particular optical cross current architecture, please let me know. So I will take on this particular diagram. Do you have any doubt in this one? Did you understand the topic? Did you understand the concept, how it works? So once you have taken this one, we will go for the next one. Okay. This is the diagram, optical cross connect architecture. So I hope that you people have understood how the optical cross connection will happen to the space switches. So non-linear effects, when you're talking about the non-linear effects, non-linear phenomena in optical fiber affects the overall performance of the optical fiber network. Some important non-linear effects which will happen so that the error will come into picture. So those are discussed here. Okay. So the first one is what? Group velocity dispersion, non-uniform gain for a different wavelength, polarization mode dispersion, reflections from splices and connectors, non-linear inelastic scattering processes. So variation in the refractive index of the fiber. Okay. So these all are the non-linear effects. Non-linear effects means see, linear when we say is when we are sure about it, how it works, what is the problem will occurs and all. If we are knowing that one, then only it is the linear. When we are talking about the non-linear, so we are not sure about it. Okay, non-linear, we are not sure about it, what exactly happens. Okay, it is called what non-linear effects. So here variations of refractive index in the fiber, that is non-linear effect. Why? Because we are not sure that when we are manufacturing, we will manufacture the what you call for that the manufacturing unit will prepare the fibers. So even the manufacturing unit is not preparing, but even man is also the manually if you are preparing also, there may be some chances of problems. Okay. So that particular variations in the refractive index of the fiber is not in our hands. That is why it is called what non-linear. Similarly, non-linear inelastic scattering process, this is also one type of problem. So reflections from splices and connectors. See, we are not expected that splicers and the connectors will reflect the signal. Okay. So when the signal is passing through them, so if we are getting the splices and connectors, okay, reflections from the splices and connectors, so obviously this particular thing is going to happen. Okay. Similarly, reflections from the polarization mode dispersion. Polarization mode dispersion means what? When the wave is traveling in one direction, it is horizontal and vertical, we are going to consider. So when we are considering the horizontal as well as vertical, what exactly happen? Okay. So when it is in horizontal, okay, when it is in horizontal, so and vertical, so there should be polarization clearly. Okay. So if any problem arises, so that is also unexpected thing. That is why it is called what non-linear effect. So non-uniform gain for different wavelength. That means what? See, one particular wavelength is made. Okay, the device is made to obtain this particular gain. Okay, amplifier is designed so that if you are inputting this particular amount of energy, so the gain amount will be multiplied with this particular factor. That is what the designer will do. But due to some problems, what happens? When you are sending one particular signal of one particular wavelength, so it may happen. Okay, it may happen like one particular signal will be like what do you call for that? One wavelength is there. Let us consider. Okay, so one wavelength will exhibit will take some amount of gain. So another wavelength will take another amount of gain. So that is not expected. Okay, so when that particular phenomena happens, that is also one type of problem which we'll encounter. So all this another one is what? Group velocity. So when multiple signals are going, okay, so like multi-mode dispersion we say, okay, so multiple signals are going in a one particular fiber, multi-mode fiber. So there what exactly happen? Multi-mode fiber, in that particular multi-mode fiber, so this particular thing is going to happen. Okay, so multi-mode group velocity dispersion will happen. Okay. So please write it down, all of you. Non-linear effects. See, we can expect the question like, what are the non-linear effects? Okay, of the optical fiber, or else in the optical fiber. Okay, so which will affect the overall performance in the optical fiber networks. See, why this particular thing we have to discuss is, see, when we are using only one fiber for small purpose, that is not a problem. When we are talking about the network, so the network will be comprising of multiple devices, multiple wires, multiple optical cables and all. So when multiple things are there already, So every element is exhibiting a small error. So obviously what will happen? Finally, the end result will be most dangerous. Okay, so that means what collection of small errors will lead to the big error. Okay, that is what the condition. Group velocity dispersion, non-uniform gain for different wavelength. There is a polarization mode dispersion, reflections from the splices and connectors, non-linear inelastic scattering processes. So variations in the refractive index of the fiber. So these are the different effects which will affect the overall performance in the optical fiber network. Please make a note of this one, all of you. Please write it down, all of you. So this nonlinear effects contribute to signal impairments and introduce the bit error rate. Okay, nonlinear effects contribute to the signal impairments and introduces the bit error rate. So that is why nonlinear effects has to be controlled. So now after writing all these things, we can go for the next parameter, that is the dense wavelength division multiplexing, that is DWDM. Dense wavelength division multiplexing, that is the DWDM. So when you're talking about the DWDM, we can understand one thing, that the DWDM is a data transmission technology having very large capacity and efficiency. So here in this particular DWDM, the multiple data channels of optical signals are assigned different wavelengths and are multiplexed onto the fiber. So here what exactly happens is the DWDM, see dense, this is also wavelength division multiplexing only, The only thing is what here we are having the wavelength. Okay, so it is having the very large capacity and large efficiency. Okay, so multiple data channels of optical signals are assigned different wavelengths and are multiplexed onto the one particular fiber. So DWDM system consists of transmitters, multiplexers, optical amplifiers, and demultiplexers. DWDM system consists of transmitters, multiplexers, and optical amplifiers and demultiplexers. So here audio signal, see, let us consider audio signal is having different wavelength, video signal is having different wavelength. So like that different signals will be having different wavelength. So all those different wavelengths and all we are going to consider, and we are going to consider this particular diagram as a dense wavelength division multiplexing concept. Okay. So below figure shows the typical application of DWDM system. So what is that particular typical DWDM system is telling us is, so you can see that the video signal, if you are telling the wavelength is somewhat okay, but when you're talking about when you're comparing the audio and video signal wavelength, there is a lot of difference. Okay, so when you're talking about the text and somewhat data, there is a lot of difference in the wavelength, the value. So that particular all different wavelengths have been taken and have been considered. Okay, so and it is fed to the N channel DWDM multiplexer. Okay, so in that particular N channel DWDM multiplexer, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 up to lambda n, it will be there. So all these things the same thing. Here also multiplexing will happen. So all the multiplexed signal will be sent to the fiber. So in that particular middle, if you want optical amplifiers, so I can have the optical amplifiers also. So later fiber will be there, okay, up to the demultiplexer. So when the demultiplexer comes into picture in the receiver part, so once again the demultiplexed signals will be sent accordingly. That is receiver 1, receiver 2, receiver 3 up to receiver n. So the data output will be obtained. So that means what it is also multiplexing and demultiplexing action only. So what is the difference between the normal multiplexing, normal WDM and this DWDM is, the normal WDM, what exactly will happen is only the little small changes in the wavelength will be there. Let us consider 800 nanometer. So another signal will be with respect to the 810 nanometer. Another signal will be having the 850 nanometer, like that. But when you're talking about the video signals and all, there may be hundreds of difference will be there. Okay, video with audio comparison if you take, and when you're talking about the dense, okay, so video will be requiring more wavelength. Okay, so when you're talking about this particular video streaming, it's a more wavelength requirement is happening. So when using this particular video, audio and all, so this requires more wavelength. So that means for dense, high capacity is required. So when you are using this particular high capacity wavelength and all, so DWDM system we are going to consider. So please write this particular diagram, all of you. So please take this particular diagram, all of you. So once it has been taken, please let me know. So here DWDM used a single mode fiber to carry multiple light waves for different frequencies. So that is what one of the advantage here. Okay, DWDM used a single mode fiber to carry multiple light wave of different frequencies. So DWDM system uses erbium doped fiber amplifiers for its long haul application. So when you're talking about the long haul application, it means that it is covering a major area. Okay, so like throughout a state or throughout a country, like that. So to overcome the effects of dispersion and attenuation channel, the spacing should be 100 gigahertz we need to use. So now almost okay, another 10 minutes is there. Okay, so in the last class also I told you that please take down the what do you call for that, please take down the diagram, sorry, please take down the quiz and all. So majority of you have not taken the quiz, I don't know why. So you can just open your teams. So in that particular teams you go to my subject team. So there the assignment, in the assignment section quiz is being posted. So quiz number 1, 2, 3, if you have not taken, please take it now. So another 5 minutes you please take. After that we'll wind up the class. Okay. So now what I can do is another 5 minutes I can take the quiz. Okay. So which is been posted there. So after that I can leave the session. Another 3 minutes you can take.